Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3, back with another kicking graphic novel review. Today's review is over The War of the Realms from Marvel Comics. This is an event book, rated T for teen. So, quick read up of the back of the book. All of the 10 realms have fallen to Malekith and his army, except one, Midgard. Home to Thor's beloved humans. Home to heroes and gods alike. Now at last, Midgard burns. All hell breaks loose in New York City as Malekith and his allies begin their invasion. And our greatest heroes watch as Earth falls. With Thor trapped in the land of the Frost Giants and Earth's forces overwhelmed, what can possibly stop Malekith and his army? Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher, Ghost Rider, Blade, Black Panther, and more join the fray as Jason Aaron's epic Thor saga explodes across the Marvel Universe in an event for the ages. Collecting War of the Realms 1 through 6 by Jason Aaron, Russell Dauterman, and Matthew Wilson. Fun stuff, fun stuff. This event was pretty long awaited. The War of the Realms started way back in the Jane Foster Thor stuff in like 2016. Pretty long awaited event. Good event though. It's not a recent event. It happened a while ago, but it was still quite a wait for it. The conclusion of the war, that is. It starts off with an assassination attempt on Odin, an assassination attempt on Thor, and an assassination attempt on Freya. The Odin one appears to be successful. It's not. The Freya one is foiled by her guards as well as Spider-Man, and the Thor one, he goes ham on those Frost Giants. A lot of Earth's heroes are kind of recruited for the fight. The Avengers, Logan, Punisher, Spider-Man, Daredevil, etc. And just all these Lord of the Rings looking motherfuckers just descend on Midgard. Loki, quote-unquote, dies. Jane Foster's in it a lot. I'm a big Jane Foster fan. Jane Foster is my favorite Thor. That's right, Odinson's not my favorite Thor, and you can suck it. Absolutely, you can suck it, because she's my favorite Thor. And I do need to finish reviewing her Mighty Thor run. I got 2 volumes of it left that I need to review. So yeah, the Valkyries show up, Doctor Strange, even Odin himself, and Doctor Strange casts a spell that lets them retreat, but the Valkyries fall in battle, including the Valkyrie, the one that was in the Avengers. She dies. She gets stabbed through the back by Malekith, and then beheaded. Pretty gruesome death. But to be completely honest, I was never really a fan of Valkyrie anyways. I didn't feel like she was anything super unique or special. Just felt like having another Thor around with much less power, to be completely honest. Daredevil becomes Heimdall, which is pretty dope. I thought that was super cool. He's like got stars in the shadows on his outfit and a big ass sword. It was hella cool. Ghost Rider, my favorite Ghost Rider's in this, and he was just kicking serious ass. Robbie Reyes. We got the War Avengers, who need their own title, for sure. I didn't expect to see Weapon H in this book, that's for damn sure. But he was there. Malekith captures Venom. Malekith seems to know about Null, which is pretty cool, but he learns it from the symbiote, etc. And then Malekith like makes a sword out of the Venom symbiote, all Null style, and even makes the Venom symbiote part of himself. A lot goes down in this book. He and his people beat the crap out of Odin and Freya, and Odin becomes the Iron Allfather. Iron Man and the dwarves make him this crazy magic Iron Man armor. Oh, I gotta have an action figure of it. It's so cool. It's so boss. Thor puts on the Destroyer's arm. So Thor has the Destroyer's arm, which is pretty kick-ass. Oh, man. It's really kick-ass. There's an attack on Wakanda, which is a pretty fun read. They take down the Roxxon Minotaur, CEO. And King of the Frost Giants, Laufey, becomes very strong. Thor gets a lot of knowledge from the tree. You know, the tree, the world tree. I forgot its name for a sec. And then he goes time traveling for other Thors. He goes to the future and gets King Thor. And he goes to the past and gets his arrogant, unworthy self. And then Jane Foster Thor comes back! She gets the ultimate Thor's hammer, the hammer of the war Thor here. And it's falling apart. She's barely holding it together. So she can only be Thor for a very limited time. So I wouldn't have minded permanent Jane Foster Thor, but we get something good enough. Captain Marvel kills the Queen of Embers and has this big flaming magic sword that she stole from her, which was super kick-ass. Daredevil throws Heimdall's sword down Laufey's throat, and then Loki, who's still alive in his stomach, uses it to cut its way out of his father. All the four Thors come to rescue Freya and Odin from Malakath, who has a bunch of symbiote dark elves, and he himself has the symbiote enhanced by magic. It's a pretty kick-ass fight. Mjolnir is born again. She returns, which is pretty cool. So Thor shows that he's worthy again as well. They defeat Malakath. Really just kick his ass. And something happens when the War Thor hammer explodes. Something forms around Jane Foster's wrist, which is what allows her to become Valkyrie, but we don't physically see her make the Valkyrie transformation in this book. That comes later. But we do see Odin give up the throne to Thor. All-Father Thor is how this book ends. So you should really read this before you read the Donny Cates Thor run, because it kind of starts out with him as All-Father Thor. And I do want to read Donny Cates' Thor run, because I want to read everything by Donny Cates. Seriously, though, Thanos, Venom, Thor, it's all so fantastic. He's the best thing Marvel has right now. Like, seriously. He really is. Of course, I'm singing his praises on a book written by someone else. Sorry. But I'm about to sing this book's praises. It's a great book. It's got really good art. There are a lot of gaps in it, as there always are when you read events via trade. When you read events via single issues, I say there's almost no one that doesn't read some of the tie-ins alongside as well as they come out, which is kind of how you're supposed to read it. So event omnibuses, an event omnibus would likely have them all in order. Like I have the Spider-Verse one where all the tie-ins and stuff are in order in the book. Thick boy. It's a thick boy. But yeah, this War of the Realms book isn't like that. I will be reviewing some of the War of the Realms tie-ins. I'll be reviewing Venom one very soon. I'll be reviewing the Venom one. And then I'm also going to be reviewing the Spider-Man Daredevil one for sure. However, I don't know when I'll review that one. The Venom one will probably be like 2 books away. to be complete. No, 2 Marvel books away, not 2 books away, because there are a couple IDW Godzilla books that I want to review. To kind of break up the Marvel ones, because I've been reading a lot of Marvel, mostly symbiote stuff, because symbiotes are my favorite thing in Marvel. But yeah, so I'm going to read a couple of the tie-in trades, not all of them. Some events I read all the tie-ins for. I read all the tie-ins for Spider-Geddon, and I reviewed them. I'm going to review all the tie-ins for Absolute Carnage and King in Black. Pretty much if it's not a spider or symbiote thing, I'm probably not going to read all the tie-ins. But you can usually count on me to read the Prelude, which we have reviewed. It was our last review, which was 2 videos ago, should have been. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. They did a great job on this book. It's good writing. It's a really cool story. I was happy to finally see how the big War of the Realms stuff concluded. Malakath is my favorite Thor villain. It's not Loki, so I was very happy to get all this big Malakath stuff, because he's my favorite Thor villain. I really like him. Loki's good, but I think they try to make Loki kind of the hero a little too often. I think right now he's like fully reformed pretty much, because fangirls want to fuck him, which means he has to be the good guy. Of course, he's a villain whose redemption makes sense. And I like redeemed villains. I like villain redemption stories a lot. I do. I liked it with Venom, you know? I thought that made sense. I thought that was fun. Even though he'll never be fully redeemed. But that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll see you all next time.